Hi there. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Child Care Stabilization Grants. This will be an application walkthrough for providers. My name is Christy Opsimer. I'm the Director of Systems at the Early Childhood Investment Corporation. Along with the Michigan Department of Education, we have created a grant application that we feel is streamlined for providers to easily complete in order to receive grant funds. The purpose of this video is really for you to learn more about the Child Care Stabilization Grant, the application and completion process, and how to submit it. We will show you that it's located inside of Great Start to Quality, some features to simplify the process, and discuss who to contact when you have questions. The first step in accessing the grant application is to log into your public profile within Great Start to Quality. This can be found through the Great Start to Quality website or at the link below, which will be shared throughout the application process. Here you can enter your email address and password and simply select Login. If you need to connect your account, you can select Create an Account and find your licensed program. All licensed childcare programs in Michigan have an account currently in Great Start to Quality. If you forgot your password, you can select the Request Password button. And if you're still having trouble, please reach out to your local Great Start to Quality Resource Center at the number and email below. Once you log into your profile, you'll see the different tabs related to your profile. In order to access the grant, you'll need to select the Grant tab. Here you'll note the available grants. Currently there's one, and it is the Child Care Stabilization Grant for fall of 2021. Simply click on the link to access the application. The application opens in the same screen. You'll see an introduction here about the grants, and then who to contact if you have questions. If at any point in the application process you have questions, please contact your local Great Start to Quality Resource Center at 1-877-614-7328 or the Child Development and Care Office at 1-866-990-3227. In this first section is the application information. What you'll notice is much of this is pre-populated. Because this application is inside of Great Start to Quality, it's connected directly to childcare licensing information. The provider type, the business name, the location, address, license number, and phone number are all pre-populated. If the program has information inside of Great Start to Quality, that will populate as well. We'll begin by entering the first name. And the last name as well. You'll notice throughout the application, there are these information icons that once hovered over will provide definition and more information about what is required in each field. If the provider has a phone number different from what is listed in child care licensing, and it's easier to contact, please enter that in the alternate phone. Throughout the application process, there will be opportunities to receive notifications by text. If you are interested in receiving those notifications, please enter your mobile number here. Every child care provider will need a Sigma vendor number in order to receive grant funds. Many child care providers already have Sigma vendor numbers, and if that's the case, it will populate here automatically. If you believe you have a Sigma number and you don't see it here, you can select this link on how to find it and enter it on your own. If you do not have a Sigma number at all, you can select this link in order to request one. This typically takes 24 hours. Because the Sigma vendor number has not been populated, we'll enter it here. Remember, these information icons give you more definition about what is required. This particular field must be 2 letters as noted here and then followed by 7 numbers. I'm going to leave this blank for now so you can see what happens once the grant application is submitted. The other great feature for you is throughout the application, you can save. This notes that the application is saved but not submitted, and then it will show you that it's saved successfully. This way, if you need to attend to a child or families in your program, you can do so and come back at any time, and your information will still be here. You also have the ability to print the application through the screen print button at the top. You can print it at any time before, during, and after submission, and it will give you the information as you've completed it in the application. The next section of the application is demographic information. Here you will indicate your race and ethnicity and your gender, and we'll save it. The next section is about establishing the base grant payment amount. The first question is about your licensing and operating date. In order to be eligible for this grant, your program must be licensed and operating on or before March 11th, 2021. If the program was not licensed on or before March 11th, 2021, and selects no, it will indicate that you are not eligible for this grant at this time. It then takes you back to the Grants tab. An important piece to note here is there's a new section indicating that this grant application has been saved, and it provides the status of the application. Child care providers can review this at any time. Because we have not submitted the application, it's noted as pending for submission. You can access the grant by clicking on either of these links to go back, and you'll see that the information that we added has indeed been saved. We'll continue with this section here. And I'm going to indicate that, yes, my program was licensed before March 11th, 2021. The next section is in regards to the program status. I'm going to select that my program is open regular hours and serving children, and you can indicate what is true for your program. The next section is about total licensed capacity. This capacity is auto-populated and comes directly from childcare licensing information. You can agree with what is noted here. If you do not agree, and perhaps the capacity is lower or higher, you can select this, and then you'll need to contact the Child Development and Care Help Desk at this number here. This does not stop the application process. It simply indicates a point for review. We're also asking that you indicate whether or not you serve infants or toddlers. I will say yes. I'm going to change this back to that I agree with the licensed capacity, and then I'm going to save. Then we'll move on to the eligibility for bonus payments. The first question in this section is about serving children who receive child care subsidy. If you do, and you select yes, it will ask you how many children are in your care. I'll say 3. This says as of the current date. So this date will change anytime you come back into the application. The next section indicates whether or not your program provides care during non-traditional hours. As you can see below, the hours are already indicated. This is because this program noted their hours in the Great Start to Quality public profile, and it auto-populated here into the application. If these hours are incorrect, they can be changed. Once they are changed and saved, they will populate the Great Start to Quality public profile automatically. Because this program does not meet the definition of caring for children during non-traditional hours as noted in the information icon, we will say no. The next question is about serving children with special needs. The definition of that is here, and I'm going to select no. This next question is about participation in Great Start to Quality. Because it's inside of the system, We know that this program is not currently star rated. If you disagree, you can select no, and we ask that you contact Great Start to Quality at ecicforkids.org. This does not stop the application process, but again, is just a point for review. I'm going to select agree and save at this point. The next section is about staff compensation funds. Here you'll see that as of today, we'll need to complete the number of full-time staff that are paid, including myself. As you might recall from the beginning of the application, this is a child care center. I'm going to indicate that I have 6 full-time staff and 2 part-time staff. The next question here is about vacancies. If you are currently looking to hire new staff and you have vacancies in your program, you'll list them here. I'll say that I have 1 full-time vacancy and 2 part-time vacancies. Through this grant application process, there are hiring bonuses available. This question here indicates the funds that you will request for hiring bonuses for each of the vacancies noted above. You'll notice that it pre-populates to match what you indicated, and it can be changed. If you choose not to request hiring bonuses for all staff, you can change the number here. However, you cannot request more hiring bonuses than what are available, and it will provide this pop-up and change the number back to what it was previously. Let's save this here. The next section is regarding current enrollment. This is another area where if information was in the Great Start to Quality public profile, it would auto-populate this section. This program did not have information in their public profile, and so we'll complete it here. And we'll say there's 2 full-time toddlers enrolled, 10 preschoolers, and 3 infants. We have 1 opening. We have 4 in toddlers, and we'll say none in preschool. Once that information is completed, it will again save and populate the Great Start to Quality public profile so that families can see accurate information. The program can also indicate whether or not it has a wait list. If they select yes, you can enter how many children are on your wait list currently. The next section is about current average monthly operating expenses. This information is a federal requirement of this application process. This is a place for you to indicate your average monthly cost based on these categories. Each of the categories in the information icon is defined to help you understand what expenses to include. This is simply an opportunity to gather and understand how much it costs to run your child care program in an average month. This information, however, does not inform the grant payment amount that you will receive. So we'll just enter some information here. Again, noting that this is just ballpark information. It does not have to be precise, but just helps understand the expenses that you incur in any given month. Once you have completed all of the expenses, in the right-hand column, you can indicate how you might spend your grant funds. Perhaps you will use them for salaries, for fringe benefits, and for bonuses. Once the entire section is completed, at the bottom you'll know it will total the average monthly expenses and then how you might like to use your grant funds. By selecting these categories, it does not mean you have to spend your grant funds in this way. It just helps us understand what you might use the grant funds for. What is important to know, again, is that this is not the grant amount that you will receive. This is just to estimate your average monthly expenses, and we'll save that here. The next section are required certifications and terms and conditions about receiving these grant funds, including allowable expenses and when the grant funds must be spent by, monitoring and reporting activities, and what to do if you have a permanent closure of your program. More information will be provided at the michigan.gov/childcare website, and you'll see these links throughout the application. Here you'll find frequently asked questions, this video, as well as how the grant awards are calculated. This section shows you what you might receive based on the information indicated in the application above. Remember, in the base grant amount section, we noted and agreed to the license capacity. Each license type will receive a base award payment. That's noted here. And then an additional payment for serving infants and toddlers. In the bonus award area, there might be additional funds for caring for children who receive subsidy. And you'll remember we entered a number there. And so there is a calculation here for non-traditional hours. And you'll remember this program does not serve non-traditional hour care. Caring for special needs, which we indicated no in the application. And you'll remember that this program is not participating in Great Start to Quality. Their total bonus award is here. The next section is for additional staff compensation. And you'll remember we indicated our full and part-time staff. Each full-time staff is eligible for a $1,000 bonus, and part-time staff is eligible for a $500 bonus. You'll remember we noted vacancies as well and requested bonuses there. At the bottom is the total estimated grant award. This is not the final grant award amount. The final grant award amount will not be calculated until the application closes in December. In order to submit the application, you must agree that you've read the terms and conditions we noted above. Enter your full legal name, your email address, your phone number, and your signature matching your name noted above. And the date is auto-populated. Once you have reviewed the full application, you can save and submit. It will note that all required fields have not been completed, and so we'll need to go back and look to see what needs to be filled in. You'll remember we intentionally left the Sigma numbers blank, and you'll see they're in red, indicating they must be completed. We will enter the information and save it, and go back to the bottom and submit the application. We'll select Save and Submit. The notification indicates that we're submitting the application and that it is final and no changes can be made. We'll select OK, and it will indicate that it's been submitted successfully. You'll notice under the Grants tab, the status of the application has now changed to pending for review. Again, you can come back to your Grants tab at any time to see the status of your application. The next status for review will either be accepted or denied. If you have questions at any time during the application process, again, you can contact Great Start to Quality Resource Center staff to help you with the process at greatstarttoquality@ecicforkids.org, or by calling 1-877-614-7328. You can also find help at the Child Development and Care Office by calling 1-866-990-3227. We appreciate you taking the time to review this video and hope that it's helpful in guiding you to submit your Child Care Stabilization Grant application. Thanks so much and have a great day.